Talking Sex Live with Chet and Diane is recorded in front of a live audience. This show is for mature audiences only. Hello, you are Talking Sex Live with Chet and Diane. I am Chet, and this is my lovely wife,
Diane.
And we are live right now. We have a guest specialist this week. Her name is Dr. Bexxx. I would like to say hello. Hello, Dr. Bexxx.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes. What is your what's your specialty actually right now?
It's sex therapy.
Ooh.
So individual, perfect. Couple, threesome.
Very
I deal
nice.
with, individual people that are dealing with sex problems, couples and groups. Like, what are the problems that you have? What are your inhibitions? What do you want to open up about, and what do you want to share? I'm open to anything, because it all comes back to sex. It all comes back to getting naked with someone that you love or just kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Diane and I preach. We are unlicensed sex therapists. We're just a couple that has a lot of sex, and we want to share our knowledge with the world and our experience. And so we take callers who people who call in, we go ahead and answer their questions. But as always, we are joined with a producer. This week it is Peter again. How are you doing, Peter?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you, Chet and Diane. Always happy to be on the show, getting to spread some sex positivity, and so happy to have you on, Dr. Bexxx. Your book, Multiple Orgasms with Multiple People, was really important to my group. We've all read it. We've passed it around, dog-eared various pages and highlighted different passages, and it's really it really helped various members of my group get past a few of their own barriers. So I want to thank you. It's an honor to get to be on the show with you.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah. And look forward to my next book, which is multiple partners.
Multiple partners.
Oh.
So I guess that would be great for Peter. He's big into polyamorism and also a sex toy expert. And so having him read that would, I don't know, would that help you out at all, Peter? Or would that just, you're just basically preaching to the choir or something?
I would never turn down an opportunity to learn something more. I mean, that's honestly, that's part of the beauty of being in a polyamorous relationship, is when you invite someone new into your group, you get to experience their own skills, what they've brought from past experiences, past relationships. And so everybody grows and learns from the process. So I don't think anybody is beyond learning.
That's right. Well, we've got a great lineup tonight. Some people calling in, and everyone's going to have a good time. I'm excited. Diane and I had a great. I gave her a massage today, and we pulled out the massage table. We do massage. We take turns each weekend on who's going to have a massage, and we usually go about an hour. And
to
then,
an hour and a half, depending.
Yeah, and then there's always a happy ending, and it's probably the most pleasurable sex that we can give to each other, because we're both in our bodies and just multiple orgasms on both parts, and it's a fun time.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I wonder, do you guys have a hole in your massage table?
No,
you're talking about for the what's it called? It's
like a milking table.
Milking table.
Oh.
That is what we do not. Something that we could think about. It's actually a professional massage table. So we could cut a hole in it. So
otherwise, I could send you some links to some reputable brands. There's some good companies out there making products.
I'm sure there's just some YouTube channels or something that's in there to go ahead.
I'm not sure that YouTube allows that content.
Oh,
but
yes.
there's other providers.
Yeah, well, we were on
YouPorn, I think. What you're
there
saying.
you go.
Yes.
Easy mistake.
The Hub, Pornhub, probably has some videos on there. Are you guys? Is anybody on? I heard Pornhub's more of like a YouTube, but there is also. It's more like an adult YouTube. Is that correct? Or has anybody else experienced that? Or
I mean, it's essentially, especially now that they made some adjustments to require all verified accounts and verified content on there. I suppose you could arguably say that's kind of where it's gone. Although it's personal. It's people uploading their own content as much as they would on YouTube. But of course, it's all sex and masturbation and kink and nudity and whatever content they feel is going to have a market for them.
We are. Do we have our caller coming in right now, or
Not quite yet.
yet?
I think we should have someone any moment.
Okay.
I had a question for you, actually, based on my own recent experience. Have any of you experienced synesthesia during sex?
Go ahead and explain that.
Synesthesia is when one sense bleeds over into another. And in most cases, it's an example of where you could perhaps smell colors or numbers feel like shapes in your mind, or different senses bleed over into one another. It's a rare thing that people have in a lot of cases, but I recently realized that I have that during sex.
Wow.
And I was...
And what sense is coming up for you?
For me, it's the physical sensations, like during penetration. I feel specific shapes and I see patterns in my head. Like if my eyes are closed, I'll see interesting. It's almost like being
You're green right now. Are you having sex right now?
Oh, am I showing up as green on the screen? Oh, geez. How strange. Well, yeah, that might be exactly what I'm feeling. But yeah, I'll feel things will feel like specific shapes or colors or patterns or swirling things or whatnot. It's a very unusual sensation.
Dr. Bexxx, it's all you. I've not done that before.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. And yes, I believe that is a common thing. I personally have had sensations of like warmth in my ear and like hearing while having sex, like like being penetrated and also like opening up all my other orifices. So yes, and it's interesting that shapes come up for you. And are you seeing them? Are you feeling them?
It's some combination, like the most recent one, and it was funny that it came up in my head. But the sensations felt like Lisa Simpson hair, and I laugh at that when I say that because it sounds silly, but it's like it was the soft spikiness to it, and so it was like that was the shape of the sensation itself. But other times I'm actually seeing like spiraling patterns, and it's like it's almost as though I'm high, but I hadn't taken any substances.
Yeah,
it's just that the physical sensations create a mental high.
Like, you didn't take any kind of like
Not that time, no.
Interesting. Yeah, I just feel a lot of warmth sensation in my penis. Also, my genitals.
That seems reasonable.
That
Anus.
just seems about normal.
Perineum or perineum.
Honestly, I'd be more concerned if you didn't.
Yeah.
No, Peter, I feel like that's normal. That's just you which is actually kind of a skill where you're open up to all your senses while you're having sex. Because so many people, when they have sex, they're just focused on one thing, like getting off or that feeling. But you're able to access all your senses.
Yes, you're
something that
you're like taking it to the next level. Like this is you. This is you being. This is your.
I'm going to embrace it.
Yeah, you got to make sure that that's your thing, that you want to go ahead and continue and do that. So,
now it looks like we do have a caller here.
Okay.
So this, I believe we have. Let's put them on the line. Allow them in. Oh, it looks like they're on the line now. I think we have Brad Fun here, and Brad Fun has a question about some limitations he has in what's necessary to get off. We'll let him explain.
Okay.
well, hello, Brad. You are talking sex live with Chet and Diane. I'm Chet.
I'm Diane.
And is this Brad?
Hey guys,
Hey.
how are you?
Oh, we are all right. We are tonight. We're joined with Dr. Bexxx. She is a sex therapist, along with our producer Peter, who is a sex toy expert. Also, he's an expert in polyamorism. But what can we help you out with tonight, there?
Wonderful, and you didn't have to tell me. I've been listening to their sweet voices.
All right.
Boy, let me tell you, it has been real nice here. So let me just set the stage for you guys, if you don't mind. First of all, let me give you a physical. I'm 5'4",
Okay.
about 280 pounds of brick shithouse muscle.
Nice.
Just
Beautiful.
just an absolute sausage of a human.
Okay.
Just like if you've ever seen a finger with a rubber band around it, that's what my body looks like.
So you're
It's
purple
very,
all
very
the time?
bright. Purple, almost a purple hue, a grimace-like hue, and just bulging on the verge of concern. My nephew calls me the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh.
Yeah, but I like to say, "Oh no," instead of "Oh yeah." Anyway, I have been married for about a year, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. My sports viewership, my sports intake, gambling and watching of sports dominated the first 8 months of my marriage.
Okay.
I was unavailable to my wife.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's not good.
And we compromised. I bought a TV on a rotating head, a 360 rotational flat screen Samsung 68-incher, which cost a pretty penny, mounted it on a rotational mount, as I said. And the compromise we had is that we would spend time together, but I could have the game on Whispersoft in the background. And my wife, my sweet Thea, she would, we'd do whatever she wanted, which would, usually involve lovemaking and cuddling and caressing and carousing.
Okay.
And as it would happen, I would often watch the Fox national broadcast featuring the dulcet tones of Mr. Joseph Buck.
Joe Buck.
Both Joe Buck, son of Jack Buck, former St. Louis Cardinals voice man, National Baseball Hall of Fame.
Wow, okay.
Now, again, I want to just set the stage for you. My wife and I are in a twin bed. We have what's known as a tiny house. I don't know. Are you familiar with the tiny house?
I am familiar with tiny houses. Very economical. Yes. Green.
Yeah, we're in a tiny house, and my wife is tiny. She's not technically a little person. Legally, she can park in a handicap spot. She's let me set the stage for her also. My sweet Thea. She is 4'5". She's 4'5", 4'5".
Okay.
A little over 250 pounds, but she's also pure muscle. She is. If I'm a finger with a rubber band around it, she's a cocktail sausage that has just a rubber band around that as well. And similarly, she's golden hued, like a Vienna sausage.
Okay.
And frequently moist.
Okay,
like a sausage.
Well, that's great.
Anyway, so the two of us, picture really just a German platter in the twin bed, and I gotta say, I find myself struggling in day-to-day passions unless I hear Joe Buck's voice. Basically, from the hours of Sunday from 1 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., I'm good to go. We're on East Coast time, by the way. You have fans coast to coast.
Oh, yeah.
And Monday from 7:30 to 10:30, if there's a baseball game and Joe's calling it, I'm good to go then. I mean, Joe is basically my Cialis. For baseball games lasting more than 4 hours, consult a doctor, because if he's talking, I am ready.
Okay. So, but what's your main problem? Is it does your wife
My
not
wife
like
wants
this?
more than that. My wife is disturbed by the fact that Joe Buck is the only thing that can keep me engaged.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a pickle. Not so much to make a baseball reference when a runner is between two bases there, but I don't know. I think his voice is very soothing, and but I get a little off put by Troy Aikman commenting on the other side.
Now see, what's funny is when Troy speaks, my wife she climaxes.
Oh wow! So she gets off on Troy Aikman. It might be because of his
Troy
dreamy
Aikman.
eyes. I don't know.
Dan Fouts, Dan Marino, Phil Simms, Boomer Esiason, really any 80s or 90s quarterback gets the job done for her.
Wow.
She listened to Steve Young on NFL Countdown one day, and I swear to God, we had to buy a new shower head.
Wow. Okay. Dr. Bexxx, what would you say about this?
This is, you guys are in a wonderful place. Like, this is not the worst situation that you could be in. I feel like you and your wife need to do a little role playing maybe. What's coming up for me is maybe some earbuds for you and your wife, you know, and
really,
and you can listen to Joe Buck while maybe she listens to Troy Aikman, and then not to be too far fetched, but maybe Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, is on, and she can see some, you know,
my God, a visual of Dan Marino.
Yeah. And then not to go too far, but like maybe she dresses up as like an umpire, you know? And,
now,
and I feel like you guys are going to bring all the senses into this, like the hearing and the visuals and everything. And even though you guys are kind of apart with what you're experiencing, you're going to be together with what you are feeling.
See, I was thinking more about what if you were just to record this stuff and keep it in like a Bluetooth earbud in your ear. Of course, being honest is always the best thing. You don't want to lie to your wife. You don't want to say, "Hey."
And I have a tendency to kind of play along with Joe, you know. So I don't think she really wants me saying something like 3rd and 4 here, and you got to wonder what's going on in the Minnesota Viking fans' mind. They've been saddled with Kirk Cousins as their quarterback for 3 years now, and he's on the hook for $140 million for 3 more seasons. No end of relief in sight. The snap, and he drops right back, and he throws incomplete to the sideline. And that's going to be another 3 and out for the Vikings. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry, guys.
It's all right. It's okay.
You lost yourself there.
Yeah. I mean, are you rock hard? We can hear the passion. Are you rock hard?
I am engorged. Fully.
All right. I just picture that the rubber band around the finger, and just picture that as your penis right now. Just
now, can I ask?
Really? Yeah, sure.
Just real quick, have you talked with your wife at all about the possibility of Thea perhaps role playing as Michelle Beisner Buck, Joe's wife?
Oh, that's a good one.
It might be an interesting scenario where perhaps you could play out the role of Joe himself, and she could play the role of Michelle, and the two of you might be able to live vicariously through their relationship and maybe spice things up in that regard.
Well, first of all, we refer to her as the first lady in our house, and you know, I could talk to Thea about that. She does have a rather large portrait-sized tattoo on her back of the entire Buck family, but also Joe's first wife as well. Joe's first wife, his current wife, and their 3 beautiful children. And as a matter of fact, I believe she has plans and an appointment once COVID's over, God willing, to head back into the tattoo parlor, Physical Graffiti on Dewey Avenue. Not a plug, just an identifier, to get their dogs, their golden retriever Shadow and their British Bulldog Axis tattooed on there as well.
That is a lot of tattoo.
That's wonderful commitment, though, because it really demonstrates, I think, what Dr. Bexxx was talking about earlier about just how well, what a good position you're in together overall. I think you're all very healthy.
When we are doing it doggy style, it is like I'm at an art gallery.
Oh. I was actually just going to ask how amazing that is for you.
I see that.
I mean, imagine every time you gaze at your wife's miniature back, very small back, you look at the face of the man that you wish you were, but also the only man that makes you feel like the man that you are.
Yeah.
A bit of a Christopher Nolan time fuck there, you know? A bit of a Christopher Nolan, yeah.
It just seems like you would be able to come faster if you got to see all of that. So, I mean, I'm trying to. It seems like you're answering your own question here. Are you? I mean, what other help do you want from us right now?
Football season's over, baseball season's over.
Yes.
Due to a little kerfuffle with the FBI, I'm not allowed to have personal electronics other than this landline phone that I'm calling you on. So for me, the whole Bluetooth thing is a bit of a far-fetched fantasy.
Okay.
I have thought about having my wife read from Joe Buck's autobiography, The Buck Stops Here, and see if maybe even just his written prose is enough with her to say. But I don't know that that'll work. There's just something about the golden notes that come out of that larynx
YouTube?
that make me
have you checked out his
like a rocket ship.
Well, hey, I don't think he can use YouTube.
Oh, that's
I think
right.
That's
He
the
can't
issue.
use
Yeah.
YouTube.
I'm barred from YouTube. I'm not allowed on Twitch.
Okay.
I have 2 strikes against me on Instagram. I'm only allowed to post dog photos and what they refer to as speculative art. That's where I begin to draw.
Okay.
It's where I'm doing the first stages of a drawing, but I cannot show the completed works. Those tend to be too hot for the net, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay. Do you have email? Like, I can email you some just audio tracks of this.
I don't have an email.
Okay.
What I have is I have what they call a government reception site where you can email me at a government thing, and then they will filter it, screen it, deem it not a threat, and it will be transcribed onto a piece of written mail. 2 to 3 weeks later, it'll show up in my P.O. box, and then I can correspond that way. So if that's fine with you, just pop that thing over. I'll give you my government reception.
I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt, but I'm going to.
No.
I feel like
you're the doc.
I feel like you're in a really good place. I mean, especially not having to deal with, the World Wide Web and YouTubes and, all that riffraff and doom scrolling. Like, I feel like you're in a good place for you and your wife, although she's very small. You're in a good place to just be with her. And I think you guys are very much on the same page, or like on the same book. When you open up a book and you see 2 pages, you guys are on those pages, like you're right there. It's like, 43 and 44. So you're very close to this connection that you want. And I think you're in a really good place, and it just might involve a little bit more communication, and a little bit more like creativity. But you have the chance to be creative now that you don't have to deal with like stuff online or TV. Like, you guys can create your own world. Like, play your baseball game. Have her.
Boy, do I see why you're the doctor. Oh, I just feel like I just got a full physical there. That was. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, hopefully that helps you out there. I highly encourage you to listen to some more Joe Buck. Baseball season's right around the corner, my friend. So go ahead and
yes, pitchers and catchers will be reporting in just about 3 weeks.
There you go. Just turn on to the Yes Network.
Boy, is that going to help. Is that going to help.
Yeah, get you on, and hopefully your wife will be okay with all of that. And we'll get you some audiobooks with Troy Aikman so that she can have some fun too. So.
Wow. Well, you guys have, I think you saved my marriage here today, guys. I honestly, you know what I had? I had a loose bag of Legos with no instructions, and I was sitting there making nothing but T-Rexes when it was a Lego set for a pirate ship. So I want to thank you for giving me the instruction manual here, and I'm going to go put those Legos together, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, make a very nice town out of all those. All right, well, have a good night, my friend, and stay sex positive.
You guys take care, and be careful. All of your local politicians are lizard people that are sending radioactive signals through their airwaves.
Got it.
So just be on the lookout. Even your local mayors are.
I will keep an eye out.
Just looking for lizard people, and remember that if you use your microwave, you're basically just allowing the Russians to control you.
Got it.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks.
And take care.
All right. Thank you, Brad.
Wow. That was...
I felt really good about that up to a certain point.
Yeah, that was a doozy. Hopefully we were able to help him. It seemed like he was he was on his way to help himself.
I think he was most of the way there already.
Yeah.
He just needed a nudge. I mean, Dr. Bexxx really added some positivity into that, as she always does in her work. Just that self-affirmation.
Yeah, I could feel he knew. I feel like he was in a situation where he knew what he wanted. He just needed that reassurance.
Yeah, it was like it was there. Everything, all the pieces were right there, but he just had to add a little bit of push. The whole no no internet. That was a little strange. It was
Not the lizard people.
yeah.
I think we got the answer on that one at the
Yes.
end. Yes.
Yes.
We do have another caller waiting here.
Okay.
So let me allow them into our switchboard here. Okay. So I believe we have Meredith on the line here, and Meredith has a question regarding well, let's say boundaries at the beginning of a relationship.
Okay.
Meredith.
Meredith, we are talking sex live right now. I'm Chet.
I'm Diane.
And what can I help you with?
Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited that you took my call.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you so much. I'm a huge fan.
Thanks for calling in. It's good to hear you.
This is kind of embarrassing, but how long into a new relationship is it okay to let your boyfriend know exactly what you like in bed?
Okay. What do you think, Diane?
Well, when do you feel comfortable, I would say, to express your feelings?
I guess. So what's going on right now with your boyfriend? Are you at a point right now where this is a new relationship, or how many dates are you in?
Oh, we've had about 23 dates.
23.
And we're about 23 dates. Yeah, and we've been together since date number 2.
So what do you mean? Like you've been mutually exclusive since date number 2?
We've been sleeping together. We've been sleeping together since date number 2.
Okay, sexually active since date number 2. Got it. And so,
yeah, because I mean, with the pandemic, trying to move forward through life.
And now you've had sex since date number 2. You've been on 23 dates, and I'm impressed that you can count all of those. But so you have not expressed to him yet that you are comfortable, like what you want, what your sexual preference is. Is that correct? Or not so much sexual preference, but what you
desire.
Prefer, your desire in bed is. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's amazing. He's like the best guy that I've ever gone out with, and he seems happy with whatever I do.
Okay.
But there's nothing there for me. It's the acting classes that I had in high school are
paying off now.
Coming in handy right now.
So what do you want him to do? What is
is he not giving you an orgasm in bed? Is that what?
Or are you faking it all?
I'm faking every single one. There's nothing there. There's nothing.
Have you said, this is what I like, this is my kink, this is what turns me on? Have you had that conversation with him?
I've just been so terrified because he's so perfect in every other way. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got six figure income.
Okay.
He's
6-pack.
Never been married. 6-pack, tall, blonde hair, blue eyes.
Wow.
I mean,
so you're basically with Mr. Right, and he's not pleasing you, so he's Mr. Wrong, and you don't know how to tell him that.
May I ask, is your concern specifically that he's just not turning you on in general, or is I get the feeling that maybe there is a specific need that you have that you want to address for him, a kink perhaps, or even, I mean, if you're not reaching orgasm, then this might be what we call a fetish. Is there something there?
Or is he just not good?
No, he just goes straight for intercourse. There's nothing really fun for me.
Yeah.
No, he's not, and and I'm lucky because he doesn't even require a blowjob.
Oh.
And those really aren't my thing, really. I prefer hand jobs, but he doesn't even need that. He's real.
He just wants to go right for the gusto,
really,
not warming
he
you
goes
up,
right
not
for
turning
it,
you
and
on. Everything's
and he's.
Meredith, if I could just for 1 second, because I'm hearing what you're saying, and it's what's curious for me is that you say it's a new relationship, but you do call him your boyfriend. So after 23 dates, I feel like it is your boyfriend, and so I'm wondering if you want to do an exercise with me right now, if you want to role play, and what I'm saying is pretend that I'm your boyfriend, and we were in bed together. And I want you to say to me what you would tell him. What do you want, Meredith? What can I give you?
I want you to touch my breasts. I want you to suck my nipples.
Okay.
and I want you to rub my clit.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay. And how would that make you feel if I were to do that to you?
Well, if you were him, it would be amazing.
Hmm. Hmm. So you would feel good. This is what you want. You want your breasts touched. You want your nipples touched. You want your feet rubbed.
Even and honestly, a kiss. It would be nice to start off with a kiss because he just goes right there. He just goes right for
He
it.
goes right into just penetrating.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God for lube. I tell you, thank God for lube.
Yeah.
Meredith, I think it just boils down to you need foreplay, and you deserve foreplay.
Exactly.
You should ask him for foreplay because that's what you deserve and what you need.
May I ask, is
Thank
there
you.
a historical aspect to his personality with you that leads you to believe he wouldn't be open to such feedback? Is there perhaps a reason why you're afraid to broach this with him? Maybe something he's said or done that concerns you?
I think I'm just terrified because he's so perfect in every other way. He's the guy that I've always dreamt of. And I'm afraid of being rejected. I really am.
Diane, you've been with some of these guys who are more like Mr. Perfect.
Yeah, but they're not always the greatest later on. Like, they're not always good husbands. I mean, and usually they're good fucks when they're like really hot, but they're not. So you're kind of like in a pickle because he's not even a good lay.
Yeah. He's just so he's so used to being perfect at everything.
Yeah.
He just thinks that he's perfect at having sex.
And he's not.
But sex is always
He's awful.
It's a two-way street. You have to please your partner before you please yourself. That's just always my motto. It's Diane's motto. If you have that mantra going through your head, then it's the best sex in the world, you know? So you just have to put your foot down and say, look, or maybe it's just more of an enlightening moment for him. Like, look, you're not perfect at sex. Like, you need to acknowledge my needs. Like, I want to be turned on more. You're very beautiful, and you are hot, and it turns me on. But I need to be warmed up. I need to be rubbed. I need to have a back rub, a foot rub. I need to have my breast massaged and sucked, and I need you to go down on me before you penetrate me. I mean, I go down on Diane for a good 20, 30 minutes before we, like, the whole part, we said this before, our penetration in bed is a very small fraction of our actual sex. Like, like, our sessions are about an hour 20 minutes, and
Most of it's oral.
It's mostly oral, and it's just different positions with oral, side 69ing from behind, oral, but then the penetration is just kind of like, it's the creme de la creme, and that's what you should be telling your boyfriend, that, like, we need to have a good oral relationship. I need to be very well warmed up for me to actually climax. And so you need to have that conversation with him.
And if he does care about you, he'll want to please you sexually. And if he doesn't, then bye-bye, honey, because no man is worth that.
Exactly.
I do have one thought that might be a nice icebreaker and something he might be open to that allows you to not be as direct initially so that you can ease into it. But you might want to try suggesting watching pornography with him. I mean, for the most part, not universally, but most men tend to be amenable or enjoy watching pornography. And if you specifically tailored the pornography to some of the more modern pornography that's a little bit more women-centric, there's a lot more pornography that's produced by women now. And so it shows the sexuality in a little bit more of a relationship light. And so you see the foreplay and you see the give and take, and it's a little bit more loving and tender and thoughtful instead of the classic, just stick this here and ejaculate here and so on. And maybe if he watches that with you, he's going to see demonstrated on the screen something he hasn't seen occur in your sex life.
Or
and
just
if you're reacting positively to the things you're seeing, maybe he'll pick up on that. And then you can point out, oh, I would love it if you'd try that on me, for instance. And it's less accusatory. It's less directive saying you're not doing this and more going, ooh, I really like seeing someone do that.
Lesbian porn does this a lot, where it's
Oh
mainly
yes, I
two
love
females.
lesbian porn.
That's
He
all we
gets
watch.
bored though because he wants to fast forward right into it. But I'm like, no, I need to watch
it's
the
the
foreplay
first
and everything.
25 minutes is just them doing rubbing and stuff. I'm like, let's just get
No, I need
right
to watch the
it. She
beginning.
needs to get that. So
I'm
that's
excited to hear what Dr. Bex had to
yes.
say on this
Sorry,
matter.
go for it.
I was just gonna say I definitely agree with Peter and Meredith. For you, it's I'm gonna call this like a sandwich compliment, where you can be like, I don't like this, but I love this that you do, but I don't like this that you do. Like you can tell your partner what you do love about him without being like, you're doing this all wrong. You know, you're not accusing him. You're not finding fault. You're just being like, I love it when you kiss me. And I wish you could do more of this. And I wish you could do more of that. But I love that you do this. So it's not he's in the fault or he's in the wrong.
Got
and
it.
you could open up the community.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea. That actually sounds much nicer than I felt like I was going to attack him if I say anything, you know?
That's why she's an actual therapist, and we're just a couple that likes to have a lot of sex. So it's never the you statements. It's always the I statements. Is that
That's
correct?
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although I want to hear more about the lesbian porns because I love lesbian porn.
It's so fun. It's great.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's
my
very
favorite.
tasteful.
It's art.
Yeah, it is.
The
it's art.
lighting is so nice
Yeah.
and soft.
Yeah, it's always in some really nice place.
It's never like
a
just
loft.
bam, bam, bam. It's
Yeah.
just sensual and sexual.
Yeah, and beautiful. So.
It's a great idea.
So I hopefully you have a good amount of ammo there, Meredith. He sounds like a great guy. He really does. It's just don't be discouraged that he can't, like, sex isn't his thing. He's somebody he sounds like a guy who's been given a lot of things just because of how wealthy he is and how beautiful he is, and so he's not used to someone he's not used to have somebody telling him what to do. You know, it could be people in power like that, they're actually submissives. Are you familiar with BDSM, with the dominant submissive? No. So usually, like in the realm of BDSM, you'll have a dominant and a submissive. Usually people who are in power, who are usually more dominant in real life, when they're in the bedroom, they want to be the person who's dominated. And so if you go ahead and just tell them exactly this is not what Dr. Bexxx is saying. This is just kind of a different take, a different avenue that you can go off of here. If you just tell him exactly what you want, get down and lick my pussy, maybe he'll be really into that, and he'll be just like rock hard and super turned on. And maybe just give that a shot. I mean, is that something that you have? It takes a lot of courage to do that. Is that something that you're up for? Or?
I think I'm going to go with Dr. Beck.
All right,
first.
yeah, that's a good idea. So, all right, well,
and I've never really watched lesbian porn, so apparently it's really good. So
it's super great. Yeah, Pornhub's got all the best stuff there, so go check that out. We're not endorsed by Pornhub, but you know,
It's great though. This is a journey for both of them.
it is
I feel
correct.
like for Meredith and your partner, this is a journey for both of you, and I think it's great.
That's right.
You get to help him in this situation, and I think that's a way you want to look at it, because I think in some way or another he's been let down historically and not understanding what's needed in a relationship and in a partnership, and maybe he doesn't have enough experience, or maybe he's overprivileged. I mean, I can't say how large his penis may be, but I know that's a classic issue that is often found, that men with especially large penises think that they don't really need to do any work, that's all they need, or maybe he just simply has a mentality that's along those lines. But one way or another, you'll be able to help him overcome some of his limitations, and you know, if things don't work out for you, maybe you'll have helped the next person down the line.
There you go, Meredith. We hope we helped you out there. Stay sex positive and have a good night there.
thank you so much, you guys.
All right, have a good one. Wow, that was. I thought we had some good advice there. Kind of different realms of different ideas and whatnot. Dr.
And I thought that was very astute, Chet, about the thought about the dominance and submissive. I mean, that's probably not the place to start, but
Nope.
you're absolutely right that is sometimes where that goes.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that point of view. That's a really great, strong point of view that I didn't think of as a doctor. I'm like, oh, oopsie.
Well,
but like, thank you for that.
No
I
problem.
Really appreciate that.
Well, sex, like the whole realm of it's just, I feel like it's infinite. There's so many different avenues and
That's
possibilities.
what's so wonderful about it.
Yeah.
There's no answer. That's the thing. There is no
Exactly.
one answer.
It's all subjective, and it's just, and that's why we love having you guys on here, so that we can have a different myriad of opinions that we can go ahead and give whoever calls in to try and figure out what's best for them, different options to help them out. So we have, do we have another caller?
Yeah, we do. We have another caller here. Let me go ahead and connect them through. All right, on the line here we have Harvard Naughton.
What's it?
Sell it.
Well,
Spell it?
Sell it.
Sell
Okay.
it. Sell-
Yep,
oh.
no, put
Oh,
at
he's on the
45.
phone.
Put
Got
at
it.
45.
Let's just
Hello,
let
is
him
this
go here.
Harvard?
I got through. I
Oh, sorry about that, Harvard. You're talking
phones.
Sex Live right now. We are live on air, and I'm Chet.
I'm Diane.
And
We're live. We're live.
We're live
Stop
right
the
now.
market.
That is right.
Stop the market.
You seem like are
Make them
you?
only trade 5 shares. 5 shares max. Sorry, guys.
So, are you a big stock person right now, or are you big
Oh
in the
God,
hedge
am
fund
I?
manager?
Oh man, I've been in this for like 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks. Wow.
Oh.
So you must have made hundreds of dollars by now.
Mm.
Hundreds.
Oh,
You know,
thousands?
have you seen this GameStop shit? Holy
Yes.
smokes!
Very topical.
I'm blowing lines off of hookers right now.
Wow.
Oh my God, and they ain't the hookers I used to get. They are high class.
So
Good
you-
God.
You must have been on that Reddit feed to go ahead and buy, right?
Reddit feed.
Oh no, you're
What
the
are you
opposite.
talking about?
I don't know. I'm not much of a stock person,
Neither
so
am I.
yeah.
I'm a huge believer in the power of video games.
Got it.
All right, that's all. That's me.
Okay.
That's Harvard Naughton.
Okay. So this is a sex call-in show called Talkin Sex Live. Do you have a sexual or relationship related question you would like to ask us tonight?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
All right. So I've been long on GameStop for a long time because I'm a long guy.
Got it.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Now, what I need to know though is there a stock that you guys recommend that could augment my orgasm somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 to 400,000%?
That's a lot of percentage to augment your orgasm. So when you say augment, is it more like enhanced so that you have a bigger orgasm, or is it?
I want it all. You know
Okay.
me. I'm Harvard Naughton. All right. I want more cum. I want more excitement. I want more throbbing. I want more just mental euphoria.
Got it. Well, the sex industry is $1 billion industry. It's huge, right? And it will never go away. It's been like that. It's
Whoa,
the
really?
It's the oldest occupation. It will never go away. It's always there. But to have it, I don't know of any actual sex industry stocks out there. Peter, you seem to be no more versed in this. Peter, are you aware of any kind of stocks out there in the whole?
Yeah,
sex
you could
industry?
look into Reckitt Benckiser, which is they own Durex and KY.
Oh, there you go.
There's Church and Dwight. Church and Dwight is the owner of Trojan. So those are
Buy
are
Church
two.
and Dwight. Buy Church and Dwight.
Oh, there you go.
Buy
there's,
now. Any price.
I mean,
Any price.
it's old school. Probably not the best time right now, but Hooters is publicly traded. So I would say actually, maybe perhaps is the best time while the stocks are down, and once we come out of the pandemic, that should come back up.
In a matter of speaking, I already did buy some Hooters.
Oh,
All right.
what about the all like Vivid? I mean, you just drive down the 101 as you're going into from north to south, and you pass by Ventura Boulevard, and you have all of these basically all your sex networks are there, all your major porn companies. Are you aware of any of those being publicly traded, or is that more of just
Yeah,
private?
I'm looking this up as we speak to confirm, but it does look that as though Vivid does in fact trade publicly. So that's one example right there.
Vivid, there's what is it, the Porn Kings, or I mean, is Pornhub publicly traded right now?
I'm looking that up right now. MindGeek is the ownership of Pornhub.
Interesting.
Publicly traded. Let's see here.
I'm curious.
So I could be
No,
jacking
they're
off
privately
to my
held.
I could be jacking off or boning to my own investments.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Harvard, I'm curious. I have a question for you. What would it feel like for you if a stock were to fail? Like, what if you put all your investment into it, all your money into it, you want it so bad, and then it were to fail on you?
I don't experience failure. All right, I'm Harvard Naughton.
Okay.
All right, I moved straight
Harvard
from Wichita, Kansas. I moved straight from Wichita, Kansas to New York City about 2 weeks ago. All right.
Oh, wow.
This is a one-way ticket. This is a one-way ticket. I don't see failure. I don't know failure. I don't smell failure. All right. I don't know what you're talking about, and I sell your attitude.
Wow. That is some confidence.
I short your attitude.
I get that. It's.
I'm gonna naked short your attitude.
What does that even mean?
You don't want that. Then you don't want to fail. You can't fail. You want none of that, right?
See, a naked short is when you try to short so much of something that it's actually more than the actual amount that exists and therefore is illegal. And I naked short your goddamn attitude.
Nice.
Wow. I'm learning a lot today.
I love this. Harvard, how do you feel right now?
Real high on coke.
Yeah, I get that. That's wonderful.
Are you in a relationship right now? Is there any women out there that you're?
He has a lot of hooters.
You got a lot of hooters, but like that's just you go and you order some food and you try to flirt with
that's
a waitress.
takeout now, so there's not even the waitresses to flirt with, right?
I mean, are you?
I'm technically in a relationship for the next 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Oh, that's right.
On
the clock.
On the clock for stocks, but are you actually? Is there any women in your life? You mentioned prostitutes, but are you more? Is there actual
prostitutes are women, man? I don't know what you're talking about.
It's true, but it's not a relationship.
That's the kind of attitude. That's the kind of attitude that I'm going to naked short.
Some are men, of course, too, and some are transgender or intersectional.
Okay,
indeed. Now this guy, I buy that. I buy that. I call that. That's my attitude right there. Going straight to the top. Rocket ship, baby.
Yeah.
Diamond hands.
But what I want to know, Harvard, is that have you experienced any of these sexual kind of discourse with any woman that you're actually been with in the last, I don't know.
That you've not paid.
Yeah.
Just to clarify.
Actually,
sexual discourse.
Just
what does that even mean? What is that, a fancy market term?
Maybe a sexual calamity, just a problem is what I'm trying to say. Have you had any problems with ladies that are not hookers that you've been trying to start some type of relationship, maybe just seeing or just going out with, or is there anything like that?
Not since I left Wichita.
Okay.
Fuck that place.
Yeah,
I'm a new man.
I mean, if anybody is listening right now
from
Wichita,
all over.
I'm sorry, but yes.
Harvard, how was your relationship with your mother?
That's a good one.
Great. She was a wonderful mom. She raised me until she died. All right?
Okay.
So I was 8 years old, and I loved her very, very much. And then she disappeared on me. Just gone. Just the value evaporated overnight.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, that's rough.
What kind of question is that? Huh? What kind of question is that?
It explains why you put so much money into stock.
Did you just do a lot of coke?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Harvard, this is a safe place.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
No judgment. No judgment here at
at all. But we're trying to help people sexually, and we're trying to figure out what your sexual needs are. Dr. Bexxx is on the right path here, like diagnosing basically what.
All right. New question.
Yes. Okay. All right.
What happens when you do so much? What happens when you do so much coke? Your dick doesn't work.
That's a big one.
I've been there so many times.
With
Oh my
Flair
God.
in your dick.
Not my
This has never happened to me
the
before.
other guys.
Oh
Got
my
it.
God.
Sorry.
Got
Rock
it.
It
concerts.
happens. It's okay. It's okay. You ride the high. Harvard, you ride the high.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm worthless without it.
Without the coke or without your stocks?
Or without your,
Or without your
hold on.
dick.
Without your dick. That is
Without my
that,
dick. My
that
dick
is
is
true.
hard. My dick has to be hard.
That is
All the
true.
time.
More coke's not going to help there.
May
at
I
all.
may I ask? You say all the time. Is your goal to have a constant 24/7 erection? Is that necessary for your success?
I gotta track the markets, man. There's no way. I just gotta keep tracking the markets. The markets move when you go to sleep. If you can't sleep, then you can't ever stop watching the markets, and you can always gain. Sick gains, gain porn, gains to the moon, rocket ship, my man. Diamond hands.
And do you feel that the markets follow the trajectory of your erection? Is that why it's so important to you that you be constantly erect?
It makes sense. It's always going
Hell
up.
yeah, that's
right?
when the stonks go up.
The stonks, yes.
Stonks.
Stonks. It's an internet term.
GME to the moon, baby. GME to the moon. Yeah, you know it, baby. That's right. You buy.
Yep.
Well, it seems like you're
Dogecoin is Dogecoin's on the rise as well. I know. But what is your need right now? What is what can we help you with? I think that's really the big question, right?
Is there something I could take to get my dick hard again after all that coke? I can't speak loud so the hookers won't hear.
Probably less coke is my instinct.
You need a good night's sleep and then
A detox.
Try to do this again tomorrow.
It's not a drug. There's not a drug or anything I can find.
Maybe some THC or some CBD.
I mean, I suppose I'm not saying I recommend this, but obviously Viagra is known to cause erections.
But
it's possible that if you took that.
Whoa! What is that? What is that? What did you just say? What did you just say to me?
Viagra is a product that's actually made by a company called Pfizer, who is publicly traded. So that might be to your interest as well. You take Viagra, it tends to cause up to a 4-hour erection.
I think
4 hours.
Wait,
up to.
Oh my God!
If it takes more than that, you should definitely consult a doctor.
Oh my God! I'm going. Where do I get it?
Oh, I thought you were actually having a boner right now, and you're just going at it.
No, tell me right now where to get that boner.
That Viagra is a prescription, so you need to go see a doctor for a prescription, then go to your normal
All right,
pharmacy.
I'm breaking into the CVS. Babe, get my gun.
Wait,
all right?
there's a girl
Other
in
babe,
there?
take a shower. All right, guys, I'm going.
Okay.
I'm going into CVS. I'm going to break in. And I'm going to get that fucking
Please don't
boner
break
killed.
in.
Can we just for our own sake, can we ask what CVS you're going to?
Yeah,
Just,
so
no reason.
No, not a big deal. Just
It's the one next to the Dwayne Reed.
All right.
Downtown Brooklyn. Oh, baby. Here we go. Check myself out. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for everything.
all right.
I feel like I need to call somebody at
Yeah.
the doctor.
Well, the Brooklyn Police Department actually has an online tip service, and I'm typing in right now to
Peter,
alert them.
this isn't the first time that we've had we had to report people. I mean, we want to have some. I mean, we're not doctors, so we can't. There's no Hippocratic oath here. There's no patient doctor
and we don't judge, which
confidentiality.
is wonderful. There's no judging.
Yeah.
But as a doctor, like I everything's confidential unless I feel like they're going to hurt someone or themselves.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
when you're live on like a live feed right now, and everyone can see this, we have to do our due diligence and actually report
Yeah.
people who are.
And the CVS there is not 24/7, so I think we don't necessarily have to be worried for the safety of others in this situation. But,
Yeah.
we have to worry for.
Yeah.
Also, it's a
For a caller.
pandemic, so how is anyone getting drugs?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no bars. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is Harvard doing? I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, that was definitely more of that was a more interesting caller that we've had. It's always fun to be like, what is your question and what are you asking? Like, what? All right, but
Well, and again, I didn't mean to bring it up, but I feel like it comes down to his mother dying.
it is true.
Yeah.
There's some.
That was interesting. He said she disappeared, which it sounded like that was his way of handling the situation. But that's very alarming, and I think there's a lot to be dug into there.
There's definitely some deeper issues with him that professional therapy needs to dive into and trying to figure that out. But man, sometimes we can't solve them all, folks. We can't just dive into everybody's subconscious and figure out what is going on. I feel since we've got a doctor on the line, I mean, we have some questions that we have from our feed, our email feed, that if you don't mind, Dr. Bexxx, we could ask you if that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, let me just pull this up real quick. So, all right. We have a Karen from Tallahassee, Florida. She wants to know what's the best way to have multiple orgasms. That's what she wants to know. Karen from Tallahassee. Dr. Bexxx, what's your prognosis or what's your take on that?
Well, a question like that comes up for me as an idea that she is probably already in a good relationship, that she's having at least one orgasm and she wants more. So I think it comes down to communication, where she should ask her partner to go down on her so that she has an orgasm. And then they can have sex. If it's penetrative or if it's female on female, they could both have orgasms together. Or they could move to a different position and have more. So I think it comes down to like switching up the positions. So if she's with a male, then definitely go down on her. And then she could get on top and control it and have another orgasm. And then she could go doggy style and have another orgasm. So it's really up to her to control it until she lets her partner know that it's their time to go.
So you feel it's more of a it's a control thing. Like you really have to like control. The female has to control it. It's not so much. I mean,
the male has to control it also. If she's a male, of course he has to control because he has to hold back. But it's also that conversation beforehand that's like, I want to come a couple times. You know, that just like, I want to come a few times. So there's no like rules, but it's more so that her partner knows that he doesn't need to get off after she gets off. She might want to come more than once.
Got it. So I've been with a lot of females, and everyone's different. So every female, I've been with females who've been able to come 4 or 5 times in one session. I've been with others that can only come once. So
one in time. Yep.
Yeah. So as a male, it's interesting. Like we associate climaxing, orgasm with ejaculation, and so the male, you can think that like orgasm's just once, but it really is multiple times. But what I'm trying to think is, since everyone is different, maybe this caller, this email person who emailed us, Karen, or what was it? Karen. Yeah. She maybe like physically she can only get done once, and she's trying really hard to orgasm multiple times. What are some different methods that you can go into? And I'm going to open this up to Diane as well to point, and even Peter, because he's been with multiple ladies.
Yeah, and I've had experience with someone, particularly. I would point out that my primary partner at this time is what you would refer to as a one and done, and that's not always the case. Sometimes we've had multiple orgasms with her, and sometimes it's a matter of just simply taking the time. I'll get her through to her first one, and then maybe we'll take a break. And it's not about me reaching orgasm and us finishing. It's about relaxing and getting comfortable. And I think comfort is the greatest tool here in this, is not being stressed about where it's going, but simply enjoying one another. We had an experience recently, actually, after one of our shows a few months ago. She was listening into the whole thing, and just it put her in the right mood, and she rode me through 3 orgasms of hers before I completed, and that was a record for that particular pairing. I mean, it's something she's never experienced before, but it was a matter of comfort and the right set of circumstances. And so I think over stressing it and really over focusing on it is really going to hold most people back from success.
We have a question right now. I'm a guy, and I feel like I'm a one and done. How do I experience more than one as a guy? That's a good question. So a lot of guys aren't comfortable with this, but it really does have to do with the prostate. And Peter, do you want to expand on that? Have you had more than one orgasm before? I've had one, but it's all come from anal on my own. What about you?
It's very rare. It's happened on a couple occasions. It usually comes from, I'm not experienced in tantric sex, so I can't really advise too much, but that's a very common technique. But what's often a technique that men find works for them is if you can train yourself to withhold ejaculation. You can reach orgasm, which people don't realize. Men generally don't realize that they are 2 separate functions. Orgasm and ejaculation are not necessarily the same thing. It's just that since they happen at the exact same time for us, normally we treat them as one thing. But with enough physical training, you can actually hold back the ejaculation, reach orgasm, and since your body hasn't spent itself ejaculating the semen, it's better capable of rebounding and continuing. So that's a very common technique, but it does take a lot of work, and I say that as someone who hasn't really quite achieved that on purpose. It's not easy for most of us, but some men have it just built in. I've known men who can just keep going and going after multiple, even ejaculations. They don't reach a flaccid state before continuing.
So I preach that, and I hold this true to myself, is to hold it in so that my partner is done. And so in doing that, you can actually you can orgasm several times. But a lot of men are scared of this, especially heterosexual men, that if you get your prostate rubbed, you can actually orgasm. And since what the physicality of your penis being rubbed is what actually gives it makes you ejaculate. So if you if you not actually rub your penis and have that prostate massage there, then you can actually achieve a multiple orgasm without ejaculating. It's something that you really have to master. It takes a lot of technique. It takes a good partner to be open to this and have a lot of and just be open and experience this with you. So
and experiment. I think experimentation is important. Particularly trying things that you might not expect. I mean, that it's such a cliche that women use shower heads or vibrators to reach orgasm, but most men don't realize they can also use shower heads and vibrators to reach orgasm and experience a completely different type of orgasm. What someone consider a female orgasm, again, as a person who identifies as male and has male genitalia, I don't know what a female orgasm feels like, but I suspect it might be exactly what I'm experiencing under those circumstances. So you can try different techniques and tools and see if they give you a different experience that maybe you rebound from faster.
Dr. Bexxx.
I love what you said, because it comes down to, like, we're all the same. Like,
get out of town.
Men and women, like, we want the same thing, you know, and I mean, as we're babies in the womb, we have the same genitalia until it's, designed that we're male or female, but it's still the same. Like the male balls are the female labia, and
I thought they're the ovaries. Really? Wow.
Yeah, the female clit is the male penis. Like, and the female clitoris goes up like 4 inches inside of us. Like,
and wraps around too.
We're the same. We are built completely the same, and yet we are raised to be different, and we think it's different, and we can't understand it. But really, if we communicate and just realize that, like, we're the same species, we really are.
We're all humans here.
Yeah,
we are all humans. So, and sex is a huge part of our livelihood, and it's a shame that our society tries to suppress that, based off of cultural norms and religion, and it really should be expressed. It really helps with mental health. It helps with relationship health. It helps with just general anxiety and depression. It's something that should, as long as everything is safe, sane, and consensual, it is okay to explore and be happy with. So, I think that's a good amount of time that we've been here. Thank you so much, Dr. Bexxx, for being in on this call tonight. It was a great show. It was you guys all had some great opinions. Dr. Bexxx, anything you want to plug right now?
No, but thank you for having me. I really enjoyed that.
Good. Peter, as always, I commend you for your expertise and knowledge, and it's been a great night of answering questions. Everybody out there, please stay safe, sane, and consensual. During this pandemic, it's most important to practice not only safe sex, but also being safe when you go out with others. Wear a mask, and make sure to curtail this whole pandemic. But we will be back soon. Please, if you have any questions at all, email us at talkinsex without the G in there, talkinsexlive@gmail.com. We will get to your questions on air. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a very spectacular night. Thanks.